Big production.
Yo, what is poppin'? So we're gonna break down Bitcoin here, and we're gonna look at another coin that I'm interested in as well. So we're starting off here. So we have this base right around 18,000, right? 18,500, we'll say, right? And we've touched there so many times. Big volume coming in on the daily time frame, and it looks like we're slowly kind of breaking out of this zone. So we're going to be trying to, right, if this wants to continue, the first resistance zone we're going to try to face is this 22,000 area, right? Because this is right where we got stuffed last time. So that's where we're going to test that first. We'll see if we go straight past it, we'll have to come back and retest that area eventually, right? So think of it, if we come straight back up, maybe we test this area instead, and then we come back and back test. That's what we would want to see, right? But either way, there's two different scenarios right there. So the first scenario here is that we continue upwards to 22k, and that's where we got shut down last. That was mid-September, right? So are we going to go right up to this zone, test that resistance for a bit, or are we going to go straight up even higher into the 24, 25k range? And that's where we previously got stuffed in the past as well, right? So we might come back up to there and then get rejected. So that's what I'm thinking, right? Big volume coming in. We've been balancing around this area for a long time now, right? Think of it. We've been here since mid-June, and it's October now, right? So that's been a few months. I like to see this breakout. Now, when we look at Ethereum, it's a little bit more interesting. Again, big volume, really similar characteristics. We've made a higher low since June, though, right? So here's our June low, and now here, this is mid-September, and now till the end of October, massive volume coming in. Look at that higher low on that's a daily time frame. We look at the weekly, it's still there, right? We're getting nice candlesticks rejecting lower prices when we see that, and it looks like when you look at the weekly time frame right now, it is only Tuesday. There's still a lot to go, right? Still the rest of the week, but this is pretty intense, eh? This is a big breakout out of this trend line that's been holding us back since November. That's indicative that there should be higher prices coming. Whether it's we end the year off with good prices, who knows? But this is big volume coming in. Look at this, largest bull volume since yesterday, but before that we got some big volume coming in on June 15th, and that was again right around these $1,000 levels on Ethereum. It looks real interesting. I love to see that breakout. We want to see it continue. So a few different things we're going to be looking for is if we come up into this zone, battle this resistance, maybe get rejected, right? And if that happens, are we going to back test this trend line? Because if so, that would be a buy signal, in my opinion. It would be pretty drastic, a head fake, right? Because of this big rush, we stay and then we get flushed right back down into this zone, back testing this major trend line, right? It's a channel now that I'm looking at, but again, look in retrospect, right? We'll go to the 2-day time frame. Some good volume coming in here, clean breakout. So now we're going to look at another coin that I'm pretty interested in, and that's Sushi. So this is Sushi USD. Again, I'm super interested. I've been watching it for a little while now. It's always been on my watch list, but I like this coiling up in this base at the bottom, and now we're slowly starting to fade out of this area. I think this has huge upside, right? Again, DeFi is so this is a marker, a 10x marker I haven't mapped out. I really don't know. I'm still learning as much as I can about crypto markets, right? But I'm thinking, what's going to happen? Is there going to be a altcoin bull market starting before the main coins, like the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, right? Is an altcoin bull market going to start before we get the rest of crypto, if you see what I'm saying? The Bitcoins, the Ethereums, and the Nasdaqs will slowly start to come. Like, what happens if now is when we're starting a altcoin bull market, if you see what I'm saying, or the bottom has been happening, right? Because if you think of it, this has been going on, right, since March 2021 for the altcoins. So it's been over a year. We've been sideways pretty much since May this year. So this is very interesting. Sushi, I'm keeping my eyes on it hard. Again, look at this wedge. We broke out, back tested. We're starting to fade away here. Volume coming in, right? Big volume, big volume. And I just read recently there might potentially be an investment firm called Golden Tree that is looking into investing into Sushi, right? But first target would be, again, we're looking up at these levels. Why? That was previous support. And that was support for a few days here. It comes up, and then we broke right below. Tried to retest, didn't really get it. And now we're fading away. So $2, right? 78 cents. Can we get up there? It's a crypto coin, like it's not like a stock, right? Even still, that's 100% trade from, close to 100% if we were to get it now, right? But longer term, right? If you're letting this fizzle out, and if there's a bull market coming up in the next year and a bit, 2 years, this could be a name, right, that has massive potential to the upside. It has gone up to $23, so that's potential from here, almost a 20x. Right, but then again, that's being way too optimistic. We're kind of just skeptical right now, just looking at the trend here. So I would have this trend line kind of marked out, like you could look at it like that, something like this. We've been breaking sideways for a little bit, keep going sideways. We're slowly going to keep going. People aren't going to think it's real. People are going to start taking gains though. Remember, the ones who come in from the bottom around here are going to be up 200%, maybe 300% if it continues up to these levels, right? Let's mark this out instead. So this is kind of like my thought process when I'm looking at this coin here and how I'm going to trade it. So if I add in tomorrow, I buy in, and we get into this zone again. If I buy in tomorrow, it's something I'm just holding on to long term, maybe like a few hundred Sushi. Nothing serious, not like a huge position. But this is what we're looking at. This zone, we come up, people are going to take gains. Whether we come up here or there, people are going to want to take gains. There's going to be a massive period of time where people are going to be... So because we got to be aware that people are going to be taking gains, where do you want to take gains from? Or when there's a massive pullback, right? Because I'm saying I'm holding for long term, where am I going to buy the dip from? So the areas I want to buy are this zone and this zone. If I'm thinking long term, as we get higher and higher, just dollar cost average into this area. Hopefully we get this massive breakout, right? Something like this. And then we need to develop a pattern, right, to digest that big move, right? So there needs to be something that goes on here, some pattern, something like this, before we get that move, right? And who knows when that could be, but that's what I'm looking at. And I do think there's big potential for a name like this to do something like that. All right, so keep your eyes on Sushi. Something like this could potentially happen. Who knows? But again, weekly time frame. Look at this. Look at this on the weekly time frame. This looks nice. We can delete all this garbage out of the way. And we're simply looking at this wedge down here. Look at the weekly volume coming in, starting to get that above average volume slowly coming in. What's going to happen when we see one of these come in? Like, that's going to eventually happen, and that's going to tell us, all right, this thing's ready to go. So that's the breakdown here. That was quite a little bit of a long one. That's the breakdown, but peace.